Hi there and welcome to today's vlog. Well, we're still in this strange pandemic time, aren't we? It seems in some countries the situation is deteriorating. We need to keep praying, keep being wise, keep following the instructions we're given. But hopefully in the UK there'll be some relaxation, maybe able to meet up with friends or family we haven't seen for some time. Unfortunately, some people have taken advantage of the situation and there are all sorts of scams around. You need to be very, very careful in how you respond to emails or text messages that seem a little bit dodgy, and if they seem that way, they probably are. Don't click on links and things like that. Earlier this week I got a text message purportedly from Royal Mail about a parcel that needed collecting, or I can't remember the exact wording, but I realised immediately that it wasn't from Royal Mail. And apparently if you get a text message and you think it's dodgy, you think it's a scam, then what you need to do is forward it to this number 7726. That will go to your your phone provider, and they will look into it. In fact, when I sent it, it forwarded my scam text to 7726. The response was, "Thank you. Can you give us the number of the person who sent you that?" So hopefully they will follow that up. So that's just a word about things. Some people have lost thousands of pounds from falling prey to these scammers, and it's sad that people think it's okay to do that sometimes to some very vulnerable people. So be very aware. I've been using this year the Nicky Gumbel's Bible in a Year course. I probably mentioned that before. It's great when I go out walking early in the morning to listen to David Suchet reading the Bible passages and Nicky Gumbel commenting on them. And we're in the Old Testament passages. Let's be honest, some of the passages in the Old Testament are quite difficult in terms of the events that happen. And one of the noticeable things of recent couple of weeks, as the people of Israel have been delivered from slavery in Egypt, and they're traveling to the promised land, how many times they grumble and moan. They moan in Exodus 16, they're moaning against Moses and Aaron, their leaders. I remember seeing a cartoon a while ago that said, if you want to be popular, or if you want to be liked, don't be a leader, sell ice cream. And there's a lot of truth in that. If you're a leader of any sort, then you're there, it seems, to be fired at. And certainly Moses and Aaron, as leaders of the people, came in for a lot of criticism from the people, despite all that they had done and all that God had done. The people moaned they had no food, and God provided them manna in the wilderness. They moaned they had no water, and God provided water for them. In fact, at one time, they said to Moses and Aaron, why did you bring us out here? If only we'd been able to die back in Egypt. Almost as if they wanted to go back to slavery. And they couldn't bring themselves to give thanks for all that God had done for them, all that their leaders had done for them. Instead, they were moaning, groaning. And today's passage was from Numbers chapter 21, where again they're grumbling and moaning, this time against God himself and against Moses. Despite all that God had done, they were not satisfied. They rebelled against God. And the passage tells us that there was an outbreak of poisonous snakes among the people. I don't really like, I don't like snakes at all. I can't understand these people who get hold of them, put them around their neck. It's just such a horrible thing. But anyway, the people were afflicted by these poisonous snakes coming among them, and the people cried out and said to Moses, we've sinned against God, and we're sorry, please help us, please deliver us. And so Moses goes and prays to God, and God says to him, to make a snake, a bronze snake, and lift it up. And so that's what Moses does. He makes this bronze serpent. He puts it up on a pole, and God says anybody who looks at that serpent, that snake on the pole, will be healed from their poisonous snake bite. And so God provides a way by which the poison can be counteracted. It's been wonderful, hasn't it, to see how the rollout of the vaccination is going against coronavirus. And I think even the scientists were awestruck by speed by which the vaccines were created and manufactured, discovered, if you like. It's something that's never been done so quickly in the whole of human history, and we ought to give thanks for all those scientists, all those who are working on finding an antidote, a vaccination, and immunisation. But I kind of wonder how much our prayers influence the speed by which that happened. Obviously, we can't know, but it just happened so quickly, and everybody was awestruck by that. But loads of people were praying, weren't they? And we need to continue to pray for that effort against coronavirus. Still, many people around the world are suffering so greatly. But God provided a remedy for these poisonous snakes. So when everybody looked at this snake that Moses had made that was on the pole, they were healed. And it's interesting that Jesus, as he was out and involved in his earthly ministry, those 3 years that he spent before he was crucified, he said this: just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man, that is Jesus himself, must be lifted up, that everyone who believes may have eternal life in him. So Jesus is saying, remember the story of the people in the wilderness, the poisonous snakes that were killing people, and Moses obeyed God's instructions. He created that snake. He lifted it up on a pole. People could just look at that and they would find healing from their poisonous snake bites. And in the same way, says Jesus, I will be lifted up. He's talking about the cross. When he was lifted on the cross, when he gave his life for us. And we're in the final stages of the period called Lent as we make that journey with Jesus to the cross. Jesus on the cross took the weight of our sin, the sin of the whole world, on his shoulders. He paid the price for our sin. He made the way so that, as he says, everyone who believes may have eternal life in him. Remember the wonderful verse in John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. So Jesus is the answer to the poison of sin that affects each and every one of us. So when we look to him, we believe in him, we put our trust in him, we believe he died for us, we commit our lives to him, then we have been set free from the poison of sin, and we live a brand new life, a life in all its fullness, an eternal life. That is the glorious good news of the gospel. So much of the Old Testament points to Jesus, and that story of Moses lifting up the serpent is fulfilled in a very real way in the person of Jesus, who was lifted up on the cross, who died but rose again and is alive today. Glorious good news. So God bless you. Thank you so much for being with me today.